Hi class, welcome to week 8 in our summer course. This summer is going by so quickly, it's almost over. Next week is our last module. But this week, I want to talk to you about what you're going to be learning this week, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about our book club chats, and I'm going to talk to you about what's due next week. This week you're going to be learning about individuals who have hearing impairments and also individuals who have visual impairments. What I want you to know is that both of these disability categories are considered low incidence disabilities. So that means that if you're going to be a regular education teacher, or if you're going to be a counselor, or you're going to be a PE teacher, most likely you're going to have very limited interactions with these individuals. But it never hurts to learn about disability categories and, of course, beneficial ways to teach and interact with people who have these impairments. So first off, like I said, a very small percentage of people or students who receive services under IDA have a hearing impairment. The latest figures that we have from the Department of Education actually state that less than 1% of all students with disabilities have a hearing impairment. So if there are 6 million, little over 6 million students who have disabilities in general, and less than 1% have hearing impairments, it's something around, I think it was like 71,000 is what they said. But what we do know is that hearing impairments really can obviously they're going to have a negative effect on the child's ability to learn and their educational performance, their academic performance, and also their social interactions and their communication skills. Hearing impairments, because there's a range of hearing impairments, they can be permanent or they can fluctuate. And this is going to impact all of those categories that I just said, like social and communication, as well as academic and educational achievement. So it's really necessary to understand where the person that you're interacting with is on this kind of spectrum, and then know the best way to go about reaching and communicating with him or her. The second topic that you guys are going to learn about is visual impairments. And as you can imagine, those are things that negatively affect an individual's ability to successfully complete everyday activities. These students are typically served by a vision teacher in some capacity. And whether or not that vision teacher is someone who has a classroom full of students who have visual impairments, or the vision teacher is kind of traveling and they go into different classrooms who have students or a student with a visual impairment, depends on kind of your setting, if you're in a rural setting or if you're in a large metropolitan area and things like that. But those students who have vision problems will always have a lot of interaction and communication with a vision teacher, because this person is trained in meeting the specific needs, and they're very unique, of individuals who have visual impairments. Mostly because, first off, there are 3 levels of classification for visual impairments, and that's somebody who has low vision, somebody who is legally blind, or somebody who is totally blind. And as you can imagine, the range of that is huge. And so one of the things that these vision teachers have to take into consideration is how the loss of vision came about. Was it a medical condition like glaucoma or cataracts or retinal detachment? Or was it from an infection? Or was it because of trauma that the person experienced? And as much as there's a wide variety of conditions that can impact sight, within each of those conditions, there's kind of another spectrum that plays into it, and that depends on the person's age when they lost their sight, the severity of the limited sight, and also the existence of other factors that can kind of play into it. So if someone lost their sight due to like a traumatic incident where they are also paralyzed from the waist down, most likely that person wouldn't be categorized as a student who has a visual impairment. Most likely they're going to be categorized as someone who has a physical disability, because that physical disability, I don't want to say takes up, but is, I guess, a larger part of getting their education kind of complete than the visual loss, because there are other factors that come into play and that impact their ability to learn. So As far as the prevalence rates go, this is actually a lot lower than even hearing impaired. We think that there are about 12 students per thousand who are born or who have low vision, and less than 0.5% or less than 0.05 in 1,000 who have total blindness or are considered legally blind. So it's really a small percentage of people who have visual impairments. And also something to kind of think about is that as medical advancement and technology continues to grow, even fewer children are born with visual impairments. So anyway, it's something that is essential for us to know for this course, and it's also good for you all to know in your daily interactions with individuals, because you just never know who you're going to meet. So on to the next topic. This week, what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to read chapters 12 and 13, and then you're going to review the lectures on hearing and visual impairments. And then you're going to watch the videos on hearing loss, and there's one on visual impairment, and it's actually a simulation, and it's called See What I Mean. And then from there, you're going to take the quizzes for chapters 12 and chapter 13. This week too, we're also having our book club chats. So far we've had 2. Our first one was at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and that was Welcome Home Jelly Bean. And then we had at 3 o'clock, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night. And then tomorrow, which is Wednesday at 11 a.m., is The Speed of Dark and Kissing Doorknobs at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Thursday is Rules at 1 p.m. and yours Shirley, at 8 p.m. And our last chat is on Friday at noon, and that is called Laughing at My Nightmare. And it was actually kind of a funny book. I hope that those of you who read it enjoyed it. Remember that this assignment is worth 100 points, and that please don't take it lightly. Make sure that you come to the chat. I'm not planning on holding additional sessions for those of you who did not make it to the chat. So if you've missed your chat, the best thing that you can do is to choose another book that meets later in this week and participate so that you don't lose those 100 points. Next week is Module 9, and that's the last module for the course, like I said. So you'll be learning about individuals with physical disabilities, with health disabilities, and other low related incidence disabilities. I don't think that made sense. But it's other low incidence disabilities. So you will not have a quiz next week, but instead what you're going to have is a disability project that's due on August 2nd. And what that consists of is that you're going to choose one of the disability categories from the book that you've learned about, and you're going to create either a presentation via PowerPoint or Prezi, or you're going to create a brochure on your chosen disability category. And from there are several pieces of this assignment that includes you conducting a little bit of research on your own, and of course using the resources that are in your textbook. I have included the rubric in Canvas so you can see exactly what it is that I'm going to be looking for. I have another video to make tonight, and then I'm going to start grading your Chapter 9 activities and hopefully get started on grading your communication device projects tomorrow. So remember too that discussion 2 is due on July 31st. And if you have any questions, please let me know. You know how to get in touch with me. My number is 813-300-2885. Text me, call me, however you need to. You can also, of course, email me, Rosenblatt, ROSENBLATT_K @UTPB. And I look forward to hearing from you all, and I hope y'all have a great rest of the week. See you later. Bye-bye.